patch on my arm right here? What's that say? It says the not fucking around crew. That's what that says.
What is up? Welcome to another edition of Hot Topic with Copville on Counterculture and Copville YouTube. Jordan is gone, and one of my best friends on this earth, Dominick Izzo, is filling in tonight. Dom, thanks for joining me.
Wow, I haven't had a friend in a while, man. Not too many people want to be my friends lately.
Hey, I even advertise it live on the internet. How about that? You are. I was thinking about it today. I was driving. I was like, Tyler and you, I think of all, and I'm sure you feel the same way. I know you do. You tell me a lot, even it's private.
Yeah.
Tyler and you, after 23 years of my career, I realized that all those parties and shift parties and all that garbage I went to, not a single one of those motherfuckers cared if I died the next day.
No, I speak to no one from my old apartments at all. Barely ever.
I have three
yeah,
people.
I don't. And the older I got, there are very, very, very few men that I associate with for the sake of masculinity and integrity.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I told you guys this in the beginning, character matters, and you guys are fucking loyal as all hell. So.
Let's get some comments out there. You're Steve, two self-proclaimed heroes, fucked residents out of a paycheck for pension. They sure do. What's up?
Did anybody get a hold of you about self-proclaimed hero t-shirts?
No, I can put them. I don't know. They're online. They're on the website. Just let me know.
I got a text message. I'm not going to say from who. Somebody well-known cop, and he said, "All of us, all of my crew want a self-proclaimed hero T-shirt because fuck Steve Ladner." LOL.
Well, tell him www.copvilleog.com under apparel. There's the my buddy Sal up in Jersey that's fighting that war up there with the AG. He bought one, and I sent you one.
I like Steve. It is what it is.
So do I. So whenever, you know what we say now? So hold on 1 second. My two favorite self-proclaimed heroes.
Gary Worms.
When we're sitting on the Anti-Hero broadcast live, which is every Monday and Thursday, 11 to 1 on the Anti-Hero YouTube channel, we look at each other, and I'm like, I say it now. I'm like, these guys are self-proclaimed heroes with no duty to act. Steve's right. Like, I'll look at Tyler during the broadcast, and I will say, this shows Steve was right. This call right here, Steve was right. And he's right. He's right about a lot of things he says. You are too. I don't agree with everything you say. You don't agree with everything I say, but there are certain points where I can't deny Steve is right.
Well, Steve is from the YouTube crowd. And the YouTube crowd tends to be more absolutely well-educated and very much right when it comes down to their opinions.
Yep. Well, we got our first comment, and I'm going to bring that up real quick. They talked about this right here. There was an incident in Beaufort County, South Carolina, that went viral where the cop off duty lost his mind, and there he is right there. He was charged with 4 felonies after allegedly I love that word, allegedly, on the video that we all broke down and saw. There is a self-proclaimed hero with a booking date of October 28th, which is yesterday, and he was charged with 4 felonies. I have to agree with Steve on this one. If that was a general citizen, he would have been arrested on the spot immediately and would have been immediately in jail. But because he's a cop, he was given some leeway.
And I have to wonder how many people it wouldn't have gone noticed if it wasn't for people doing content like we do. So how many, because the volume of views and comments and, oh yeah, that's right. And the common sense you're getting brought into, I think there's more accountability going forward. And I honestly think maybe. Yeah, there, Canada, Florida. Izzo was right.
That's my cousin. Good dude. Yeah. He runs a Counterculture Sports. So everybody loves hearing Izzo was right. Now I say it constantly. I mean, every post about a female, it's just, I guess as a cop, and you got out obviously before I did, and you admit when you were indoctrined to their bullshit behavior.
Yes.
So I wasn't out long enough when you and I met to really look and go, man, Izzo is right. Like all that stuff he's saying, like I was just so brainwashed for a long time that it took a year of out of law enforcement to go, he's right. Like it's all bullshit. Like all that stuff's garbage. And it's a hard pill to swallow.
It's loyalty. You want to be loyal to what you believe in, and you think that there's loyalty returned by the family that everybody says that they are in. And then when you go through the heartbreaking process of realizing there is no family. And you see, and everybody who is a cop that shits on my content, who's in my comment section, they know that what I'm saying is true. Mm-hmm. They're still at that point where, no, I got to bleed blue. I had some guy today where I'm defending. I went after a police chief who's running two agencies in Indiana, And I did a whole bunch of content on him. And the amount of people who are in my DM saying, he's gay, this and that. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. That makes no difference to me whatsoever.
Nope.
So I put this post up today. Don't mistake my attacking his integrity for what he does behind closed doors. And I said, most every cop I know is a swinger, into orgies, into this, into that. And I got some idiot in my comment section going, well, I don't appreciate this generalization because not every cop is like that. So I always fall into those baits, right? Well, I didn't say every cop. And generalizations, I don't know how it's 2025. And when people say generalizations, the immediate response from anybody debating your content is, well, not all women, not all cops, not all. I didn't say that. It's a generalization.
Yeah.
So I had said in the comment, I said that most every cop I know is exactly what it is. If I know 1,000 cops and 600 of them are involved in this, that's by definition most every. But 600 isn't 800,000 cops.
Yeah, of course.
At all. But I said, if I had said most every cop I know is a hero, he would go,
yeah, damn right.
I'm
not
not
right, brother.
Appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, sheepdogs.
Yeah.
So I had an interesting one in my DM, and I post Izzo was right at the bottom of the females doing all this dumb shit. And I know I was right because I never got a response to my response. And I said, the statement was, you're always shitting on female cops, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. I said, I go on TikTok or I get these videos sent to me. I said, I post them exactly how you see them, intended by what the female making the video intended. And my final statement was, my wife is a cop. When you find somebody performing and you see a video that's worthy of going on my page in support of female cops, please send it to me. And I got no response because it's going to be very hard for her to find. One, most of the female cops that are doing squared away stuff don't post it because they're not social media people. Two, you just don't see female cops doing much anything online besides
Coral Springs, Miranda Schuing. She's the only one, but that's because they film their content like live PD. Yes. That's a squared away. That is a cop.
They're there.
Chills looking at going, oh my God. For those people, I never talk about this. There are 2 female cops who shaped my career. One of them was an instructor in the academy, and she was the one that says you're going to live your life like in a fishbowl. And me, the goofball attention whore that I am, kind of took that really seriously. I'm like, man, I really need to, pay attention. The other one, if it wasn't for a female cop, I would have never been a cop because I would have been arrested. Got into a bad bar fight that I was working at in 2000, the year before I became a cop. And as we're all brawling in the parking lot, someone is on top of me, arm wrapped around my neck, arm wrapped around my other arm to prevent me from punching. And I just hear, Dominick, stop. And I look, I see a fucking beige uniform. I'm fucked. It's a state trooper. State trooper's on my back. It's a female. And I'm like, I'm going. She goes, I'm your new neighbor. What? Didn't take me in, arrested him instead because the guy actually started shit. And if it wasn't for her, I would have been arrested. That would have been on my. So I owe my career to my neighbor who still to this day is around. And she's a female state trooper. So it's not that they don't make female cops.
I agree. And it's unfortunate that we're not, and I know you're the same way now at this point. You have to be. I don't even go looking for it anymore. I get so many messages of these TikTok dances and these females. It's like, I started getting a little snippy. I'm like kind of like you, okay, like you guys got to start doing something about it. Like you can't send me 3,000 videos a week and then you start telling me post this, No, I'm not gonna post. First of all, I'm not gonna post what I don't want to. Second of all, like when are you guys gonna say hey, this chick in my agency is a fucking problem and we need to talk about it? We've talked about that.
Well, I thought about that for a second because that was my position 2 weeks ago. I get nonstop DMs every single day and it's overwhelming. And I'm like, already covered that last year.
Yeah, me too.
And then I went to, exactly what you just said. I can do nothing about this. You guys are the only ones, the active cops have to step up to the plate. If you have somebody in your department, you need to say something. To where now I've advanced my position inside of 2 weeks. Fuck it. It's content. Yeah. It's how my business grows. If you want to do nothing about it, I will never run out of content and I will keep making the money. I don't care.
I'm going to post it, but what I'm getting at, and I think what you're saying is we may get contact and whatever, but the agency may have their head buried in the sand. So if you really want it to be brought to the attention, You got to do something. All right, with Steve. I'll get
They
the blue
don't
line discount when found guilty and sentenced. Yeah, you probably will. Loyalty to the Constitution first. That's why you swear on oath. Next is your department, and if your department is fucked, to be the guy that make change.
Yeah, Dylan, that's a great comment. I wish more guys, like, I didn't have that, right? I never thought that it would ever be possible to be brass, and it really is embarrassing because my first department, the new police chief, was the CSO underneath us when I was on, and he was a phenomenal cop. He's going to make a phenomenal chief, and he's replacing my FTO who retired as chief. And I never thought about that, man. If I had stayed, if I had actually focused on my career, if I hadn't been just a butthurt problem child, I could have been chief. Yeah. And I wish more cops had thought about, instead of just going out running and gunning and all this, once you hit that like year 5 career, and really focus on just making the difference. So yeah, Dylan, that's a great statement.
If we had good cops, we wouldn't have bad cops. Honest question. Do you think he's right? Do you think cops or LEO, as they are exposed to darker side of life, they are more likely to take a walk on the wild side, to put it politely?
Yeah, I talked about that today. That's the whole thing about the sexual shit today. It's like, for every cop, and we're not going to talk about it, but there's a shitbag cop who's got fired, who's going back to work, who likes to sling shit on other people. I want to see that cocksucker's search history on his phone. It's like the most of the deviant people who are involved in excessive drinking, borderline, problematic behavior, and especially in deviant sex, they're cops. Yeah. And it's nothing more. It's nothing more. A lot of people think that it's an adrenaline seeking thing. Or you got to no, it's not. It's a feeling of safety from being discovered or touched. And the more that I could speed, no one's going to do anything. I can speed in my personal time. I don't have to wear my seatbelt. The more that you're like, I don't have to, the responsibility of being like, yeah, I'm going to go to an eyes wide shut orgy and fuck it. It's great, and cheat on my wife. Nobody cares. It's you just push that limit because no one's holding you accountable.
I agree. Duty to loyalty. Yeah, that's what a lot of guys think they have. Dominic, did you see what happened to the inmate who was tased, dragged, and beat while on handcuffs on the video I tagged you on Cop Talk Live?
I don't know if I did or not.
Yeah, I'm sure you get so many.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Most self-claimed heroes never had read the Constitution. Yesterday, Jerry Worms. I know that so-called thin blue line is very criticized now. However, there is still a brotherhood that I feel via Instagram. Jack is a perfect example of how he became connected. That's a true statement, and that is Jack is the one kid with cancer up in Milwaukee, whose agency actually fired him, or was going to fire him last month for getting cancer, and he resigned. So I think what Jerry's trying to say is, though not in the building, this brotherhood, we are now rebuilding a social media group.
Yeah, what's the common denominator, though? It's not just being cops. It's
being good humans. Yeah, it's being good humans, and yeah. It's motivating. It's motivation that is ruining emergency services. I see it in the fire department. These guys don't want to fight fires anymore. They want to, they want to play it safe. That's kind of
son of a bitch. I saw last night. I watched the movie House Full of Dynamite, and it's by Catherine Bigelow. She's the one who did Hurt Locker.
Okay.
And I guess I found out she did Near Dark too. I was like, holy shit. So I'm like, okay, it was great. And I'm 30 minutes into the movie, and it reminded me absolutely of the 1980s movie War Games with Matthew Broderick. And in that movie, for those who remember, it was, we're at war, it's computerized shit. And here comes hundreds of nuclear missiles from Russia launched over at us. This is during the Cold War. And you got hard ass generals trying to get shit done and fix this problem. I'm watching this movie. In the first 30 minutes, every military person on this, it's one unknown weapon system. They don't know if it's a nuke. They can't identify it, but it's assumed that it is. It's one. Doesn't know where it came from. The amount of military people who were crying, shaking, couldn't do their job, couldn't open up a code book and read back the code, had to be told, you're doing a great job, you've done this in training, run outside and puke. Then the White House staff who's choking back tears and watery. I'm like, this is where we're at?
Yeah.
You had one general who was a wartime one, get the shit done, but holy crap, man. That's where we're at in law enforcement and the people who protect this nation. Pussies.
Yeah, let's talk about this topic. Give me your what do you think about this?
I hope it happens. I really do. I hope it happens. I hope that the black culture shows their true nature, because they're the ones who are talking about it, and it affects people. I know who have SNAP benefits, and they're like, I'm kind of really worried this is going to happen. I appreciate that. You know, it is what it is. What kind of a message are you? And I'm torn because, you know, it's like, they'll get a job. This is a difficult economy. The last probably 6-7 years, it's difficult to find a job, mostly because you got replaced down by automated services like kiosks at fast food places, and you're looking at this shit. And the work ethic, businesses are closing down because people don't want to work. But I hope, I'm really hoping, I hope Chicago, like right where I'm at, I hope the city burns with everything they say they're going to do, and they come to fruition and do it. So if you are a black person who is all upset that your food stamps have run out, please burn this bitch down.
Oh boy, the meme with Battle Normandy titled "Walmart employees." Yeah, I saw that. I saw that one. All right, let's go to a video. I got a couple of videos here. I think you're gonna like one of these. This is Detroit, I believe. What is this one? I'm not sure what city this is. Let's watch this.
All right.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
up?
this is Baltimore. This is Baltimore.
You ain't even got no reason to stopping them, bro. Hey, yo, walk off. How did you hit the alley, yo? Go ahead, Trey. Walk off, yo. He beating. He ain't even got no reason to stop him. Hey, yo, what the fuck? You gonna hit him with the car? Yo, what the fuck, bro? Yo, hell no, yo. Hey, yo. Come back this way,
It just
yo.
keeps going, so just bear with it. It's a funny ending.
Yo, beating, bro.
Poor camera guy runs all the way down here to get the action, and watch what happens.
That's his dumb ass.
Goes right back where it started.
Dumb ass. Fucking dumb. Dumb ass.
That was a
dumb as
noise of the
shit.
cop crashing.
You dumb as shit. You
I have no
crashing and all
backstory.
that.
I just thought it was a pretty interesting video on the internet. That's going on in the United States of America, in the city of
Did he have a
Baltimore.
gun? Did he shoot somebody? And that's the only thing.
They could run him over for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know.
Being felon who displayed a firearm, popped off a couple rounds.
Maybe. Yeah, I got a message that said, I have no context, so I'm like CNN right now. I don't know the backstory. I just got a message that said the guy was put on admin leave and he's not at work right now. But I just thought it was a wild video. Like, what could he have done, like you said, that would have warranted him being run over with a patrol car? And then the commentary is great, like it's all there. Then he wrecks his, he wrecks his patrol car into a parked car. The car's totaled. He's out running around.
That's why he's on admin leave.
Probably.
He damaged city property.
Probably. Unfortunately, most people will not live in a place called reality. Dominic, for sure. Chris, what's up? I was a licensed blaster in the oil fields for many years. Doctors and lawyers have a practice, and blasters have a job.
Okay. Yeah, you were a blaster, weren't you, Steve?
I'm from Baltimore. It's wild here. Vehicles is less lethal. Vehicles lethal force. Yes.
Yes.
Jerry Worms, I'll bet you have never sat down and read the Constitution. Uh-oh. Steve and Jerry going at it. I got another video ready. Let's see. Video. I got a really good one. What's this one?
What happened on January 5th of 2024. Mason Treat was pulled over on I-40 near Garth Brooks Boulevard in Canadian County. That deputy you see there had serious injuries, broken bones, but he was eventually back on the job.
Now let me stop. Wow. Unfortunate for the deputy, but watch. This is where Dom, I didn't tell you about this, but this is where you're right about body cams, cops saying dumb shit, and let the story continue.
I don't remember much of it. I only remember the last week of the hospital.
In the car.
Mason Treat also survived, but it took a lot of recovery. KOCO5 had an exclusive interview with the Treat family last year.
Bleeding on the brain, his brain was swelling, he had 8 broken ribs, some damage to the lungs, nerve damage all down the right side. and was completely, could not communicate.
Right after the crash, Oklahoma Highway Patrol deputies responded to help. And in a new lawsuit filed by the former Oklahoma Senate Pro Tem, he claims, quote, Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers delayed checking on and providing assistance to MT for approximately 10 minutes, during which time dashcam audio captured troopers disregarding MT's conditions.
So what they did was, what Dom always talks about, they started MT is the young kid in the car just minding his business that was stopped on a traffic stop, and on the dash cam, it only records a minute, they were seen saying, fuck that kid, I don't care about that kid. Even though the kid was an innocent victim and obviously injured, they were caught saying essentially the trooper's life was more important, and they didn't render.
Oh, that's what other responding people came up.
Yes, the other responding units neglected to treat the guy in the car for 10 minutes and got caught on hot dash cam saying, fuck that kid can wait, the hell with him, you know, the dumb shit we all say.
Yeah, because your brother's more important.
Correct.
Yes,
so,
I would be fine if the guy who he got hit said it because it's out of anger. I would be somewhat okay if they were referring to the offender.
Correct. This was the innocent kid in the car. This was the innocent kid in the car.
That's that whole thing. It hit me. It hit me. Somebody said something in my comments that I flew my flag to for fucking years, and I never went, oh my God, your job is to make it home every night to your family. And I went, for the first time ever, I went, that's nowhere in the oath I swore.
Yeah.
It's not.
I know.
To make it home at the end of the night.
Protect and serve, all that. Yeah.
Shit.
Yep.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
What is this one? I can't see it. All right. This is the one I wanted to really cover. So I'm going to back that one out. And I got one more video, I think. Oh, here's a guy. You're going to love this one. This is a guy found on TikTok who I posted. And then I don't know where he works, but ladies and gentlemen, this is a law enforcement officer with a badge and a gun who is your 911 when he comes.
Start texting now. We can be in pumpkin patch pictures by October and matching PJs by December. Just a thought.
That was one of the less creepy videos on his page. When I went into his live, somebody sent it to me. I popped in his, and I hate going on TikTok. It's like the worst place to ever end up.
Now he's off duty.
I know he is. He is. It's a complete. He's got uniform pictures though. There's some in pictures. There's some videos on those ones were off duty, but he was playing Taylor Swift, and he kept repeating over and over, "The bitches love the uniform. Where's them bitches that love the uniform?" He was looking in. There was like 3 people watching, and I was just like, "How uncomfortable."
The thing I don't like is that he leverages his shit for hawking, merchandise.
Yeah. I saw this. This was an interesting one. Like, I get these pictures sent to me. And here's a female that made SWAT. Doesn't really look like a SWAT. Full SWAT team. I don't think it was a full-time thing, but the first thing I noticed was, and it's, I guess I nitpicky, but her tourniquet is unstaged, which is improper.
Well, explain to me what you're talking about.
Like the Winslet's supposed to be open. Like there's a gray right there on her tourniquet, and it's sealed over top. So that's another step you have to take to get the tourniquet open to start using it. And what you do is you stage that with the Velcro on the other side. So you just rip it open, put it on. It's only a few seconds, and somebody argued with me back and forth, but it's a few seconds in training when you're laying in the field pretending when you're shaking. When you have bullets and blood dripping down your arm and your legs shattered from a gunshot wound, and you're doing something that I know you trained it a different way, and then you did it this way. So I would just rip it off. I talked to a medic who said, really what it's for is they write on it too. They can write like, Jones put on it, one, whatever. He says he just writes on their forehead. Like you write on their forehead, tourniquet apply. My point of that is this chick went, like I do with the magazines backwards and everything else. This person went through a SWAT school around SWAT instructors, regardless of if it's 5 extra seconds, it's not staged properly, which leads me to believe attention to detail isn't being adhered to, and you're just not really in it. You're kind of playing. Here's one other picture. You're going to love this. This is a recent promotion on a page. I'm not sure what page.
Oh, corrections.
We got promoted. Corrections is just as dangerous as patrol, if not more dangerous.
Corrections. Let me say this. I'm going to say this. I say it all the time. I don't say it enough. Corrections is the most underappreciated, disrespected branch of law enforcement that there is. Out here, Cook County, Illinois, our sheriff does not allow our corrections, I believe, to carry. Not off duty. It's not off duty. There's one thing. They don't have the same seizure powers. Clearly, they miss a 2-week class in the academy, and that's the difference between what they go through and what law enforcement goes.
Yeah.
But they are outnumbered 20-1, 30-1, 100-1.
I agree.
You get your ass kicked. You got
Nobody's coming.
Coming. You got a fucking metal door that has to be buzzed open, and maybe 2 guys come through. You are with fucking savage. We're the taxi cab. We're the taxi cab to the jail.
I agree.
Drop them off.
I mean, honestly, and I'm not scared to admit it. That's why I was terrified to go work in the jail after 23 years of patrol.
Fuck
like,
that.
No way am I going locked in a cage with guys that want to kill me because I put them in jail.
Cops take them off the street, but the rest of the time, who's keeping them off the street? Corrections.
I agree.
So corrections deserves far more respect. I think truly.
But they have to put the respect back into it.
I'm torn.
Corrections is inherently obese. I would put them at the very high end. Most of them are out of shape, overweight. So I agree with your argument that they are maybe more important because they're in charge. You know, the force that goes out and looks for people versus the force that has to protect all the people that are already in a place. I'll give you that. That's more.
We got to rewind 20 years because 20 years ago they weren't called corrections; they were called jail guards, and those motherfuckers were brutes. Out here, Cook County, it's like here's your badge, here's your operating policy procedures, and here's the needle, right? So these guys were juiced out of their fucking mind, but they still, prison, jail. Those guys are bad fucks. Those guys are tough. So you need to learn how to talk. I think if every cop started in corrections, you would see a superior law enforcement service. And what do we have? We have these idiot women and inept fucking skinny fat dudes who can't do shit. Stick them in corrections for 2 years. You're going to get a superior cop.
Yeah. I mean, I spent a year and change in dispatch waiting to go to the academy, and I'll tell you that gave me a whole different respect for dispatch that most guys don't have because you have no idea what they're doing. 700 things in there, and it's
without dispatch, you can't be a cop.
Correct.
I'm sorry, you can't be on the guys from the 70s and 60s and 50s. I mean, when my first department first came up, they didn't have a dispatch the way it is. It was they had to look for blue lights flashing in the town.
Yeah, and they
you go
call
back
in.
to the PD, call in, get your dispatch, and go. So now, thanks to dispatch.
Yeah, I agree. I've always respected them.
Your partner knows where you're at. Yeah. Thanks to dispatch. Hey, 1111. This guy's got a warrant. If it's not for dispatch, you can't be a cop.
I agree. In the heat of the moment, they probably thought the trooper was hurt more. Not saying it's right, though. Well, you got to be careful what you say. Can we break up the cop talk with Izzo for cooking recipes?
Yes, you have to go to the Brown Paper Bag Show and watch. We'll get Rachel cooking in line.
I still can't get over when I come across those videos and I see you fucking throwing garlic knots together or something. It
Dude,
just fucking, my mind goes.
I love to build motorcycles. I love to cook.
Yeah, I've seen you do
I love
that
to
too.
teach Wing Chun. So I have a YouTube channel for everything.
Yeah, that's cool. Sure thing. I keep old tech and must have to reboot myself. Okay, we had somebody with some problems. It was more safe to travel at Wild West because today we have self-proclaimed heroes on every street and highway waiting to pounce on residents' paycheck and pension. What in the world was that? I don't know where we're at now. It only takes a few seconds and a minute to bleed out. Just saying, yep, I get it. You guys are nickel and diming things now. There's plenty of other content. Oh, nickel and diming.
Chris Geraci. I know a Sam Geraci out here. He's a fantastic wrestler. I think he was a state qualifier, state champion, amazing coach, and he's got an amazing family. If you're a part of it, you're the cunt of the family.
I wasn't going to say that.
I will.
I just say, like, I'm not nickel and diamond. It's a news story. It's like, here's what happened. I mean, I wouldn't, if he's talking about the troopers, not rendering aid, I mean, that's a problem, man. You guys check on everybody. Problem. What do you think a proper amount of magazines to carry on your duty belt? I carry 2 pistol, 1 rifle. If you're out of that, you're in bad shape.
I didn't go as tactical. I had an outside vest carrier. I carried 2 knives, 2 pistols. I carried a Glock 40 on my ankle at 13 rounds. I carried a SIG P229 357, and I had I know in my first department, I actually carried it the way that one of the ways that you don't like it, sideways. And the way that I was trained was, if I'm right-handed and you rip out the magazine, my left hand came up and it ripped open the snap. And then I would index the round that was facing forward, come up and then feed it.
If you would train that way, I could see, but obviously I just I watch competition shooters. I'm around them. I'm not a competition shooter. I'm not a great shooter at all. So I'm not comparing myself, but they train for speed and efficiency, and it's always faster here. But again, if you're trained that way and there wasn't, I'm not using they're not using snapped in mags either. They're quick, they're out, they're not worried about retention in a fight. They're training completely different. So I don't really knock that. My biggest one is when it's not so much that one, it's when the bullets are supposed to face the body. So if I'm going to reload, I'm going to go down like this. I'm going to grab the magazine, and when I flip it, it goes in my gun. You see people with them backwards. So if they were to grab it and turn, their magazine is now facing the wrong direction, and I see that a lot on people.
So my last one, I carried them vertical, the last one, because the magazines for
you come straight up
were thinner than a Glock's. So I would come up, the bullets still would be facing forward. I would come up and turn. But that's
same thing. But what I'm saying is, you go down like this, and when you turn the magazine the way you carry them the right way, bullets to the body. When you flip it, it goes in. These guys are flipping them. They have them reversed. I know they're not reloading or doing it, because if you grab it and flip it, it won't go in the gun.
We didn't train. I mean, my last range day, I didn't even qualify. I talk about the fact I was all stressed out and shit, and I thought my deputy chief was going to shoot me in the back of the head at the range day, but that's fucked up.
All right. You're right. Corrections are outnumbered. 8 years. I saw. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy.
You guys are so abused. If you were in corrections, that is, I do regret for not going to corrections. I wish I did, because it would have given me a whole new respect. And I mean, I already respected people on the street. I wasn't looking for shit, but man, I wish I had gone that route first.
I started in the jail and had so much respect for people who work there. Plus, I gained a lot of lessons in emotional intelligence. You guys are constantly in contact. Yes. I agree. Corrections should be mandatory, at least 2 years. What's up, Mr. Dilks and Mr. Izzo? What's up, buddy? How you doing? I'm late to the party. It's all right, Liz. Thanks for joining. I started out in corrections. I have a lot of respect for people that work there. Plus, I gained a lot of lessons in emotion. Oh, I already played that. That was a repeat. It's a different world when you have to gun on, rely.
No gun, no taser, no OC. You can't do OC indoors. You have a baton, but it's a weapon. Why would you want your baton taken from you by guys who have nothing to fucking lose anymore? You have your mouth. You have your mouth and your brain. And I'm going to tell you too, if you don't, you have to balance it. You have to balance the imposition of will of walking up on a guy being like, I will fucking drop you. And then also knowing that maybe that threat is about as far as you can take it too. And here's the deal. I am all about constitutional protection, constitutional rights. And yes, even those shitbags who are in the prison system awaiting trials, who've not been convicted yet, they still are constitutionally protected.
Yeah, they are.
But if a correction officer needs to correct behavior because we know that the courts are not going to do their job, I think they need to have a little bit more leeway.
My first duty pistol was a Firestar. Index finger, bullet top side, easy magazine, easy. Joe Sonner, thanks for advice. Took it. Somebody had some issues. Joe Whittick, every night was like a Custer's last stand in the jail.
Yeah, that's insane.
The Stone Sailor, my man, I was thinking about you, and a few days ago, you need to do an interview with Izzo. Our corrections deputies carried O-Spree spray, and the sergeants carried tasers. They still do that here. My daughter's actually corrections.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's going to stress you the fuck out.
Yeah, it does. Well, the worst is the worrying that the administration is going to get her before the inmate ever does, because she shares my last name. All right, I want to go into this one. Oh, I got one more image. We're going to. I think you said you're going to break this down, but I'm just going to report it here real quick, and then you can do the episode. The Sonia Massey. This is the hot water. I rebuke you to Jesus. The lady threw the water. The officer executed her, in my opinion, killed her.
Yes, murder.
And he was found guilty today of second-degree murder. And I don't know the whole background of what is.
Which I don't understand why, because second-degree murder, it's the intent factor, right? It was
every state is different. So my known Florida, I don't know what. I don't know what they're.
It was premeditated murder, because I had an argument with somebody years ago, Dan Proft on his radio. He's talking about law enforcement and my view, and it's how it goes. And this is how cops need to be very clear about why they use their pistol. Your job is not to kill someone with your pistol. Your job is to terminate life-threatening behavior. Mm-hmm. If Mike goes ape shit, grabs a bat, starts swinging it and hitting people, my job is to stop Mike from swinging the bat.
Correct.
If Mike dies in the process, it's not my problem.
Yeah,
I use those rounds to do that, so it's not murder. And he was like, "Well, it's semantics."
So I think I know where you're going. You're saying his choice to pull the gun out with non-gun situation premeditated it.
Well, if this is how it hurts cops. If cops are going to stand by, well, I'm going to kill them, and you dumb shits don't realize you're actually shielding yourself from my intent was not to kill this person. It was to terminate their life-threatening behavior.
Yeah.
Now the defense of it wasn't premeditated murder because he didn't have the intent to murder her. Well, but so if cops are all going to go, well, yeah, you're going to kill her if you shoot the gun. Then that means the entire time you had the gun out and she had a fucking boiling pot of hot water that he was 10 feet away from. You chose. You purposely intended to murder her. Yeah, that was a horrible shoot. I'm glad he's in prison.
Yep. Corrections, it also taught me a lot about gang intel. Therefore, I went. That's good, and we should be interacting with our corrections officers to find out, because they hear those guys are comfortable talking to corrections too. They make friends with them. They talk. They say dumb things, and a lot of that stuff is lost. How many times do you use a Constitution for toilet paper? What's worse, getting pepper sprayed or I think getting tased was way worse.
I would rather be shot, stabbed, pepper sprayed, pissed on by a homeless man than tased.
That taser, I took it. It was brutal. I did it. I did the taser 7. And nobody else would volunteer, and my dumbass did. And I do not.
The problem is they don't work half the time.
They don't. We're seeing it more and more where the taser is ineffective, and then the bad guy gets the taser, and then what do we have?
Let me ask you a question. What would you rather have? Would you rather have been pepper sprayed or have a female tase you in training? Because you don't know if she's going to grab her gun or not. That's a risk.
Well, my wife was actually supposed to tase me that day, but she was late getting there, so it was somebody else. But funny story about her was she had to do one of the demonstrations, and the first round, one probe hit, she missed, and then when she fired the second round, she hit the guy holding and the guy in the middle and took down 2 for 1. And
that happened to me when I got.
Of course, how you know how she is about herself and her performance, but she holds herself to a very, very high standard. I felt terrible, but it went around. They made videos to it, and it was a meme before memes were a thing. 40-degree pistol mags in the pouch, but not opposite facing round. Yeah, you're right about that. We got a long one here. Here we go. I wasn't trying to sound that way. I'm speaking of the content such as the agencies that provide minimal defensive tactics training due to the injury concerns, which leaves the kids coming into pre-deployment who have never been in a fight. You have guys and girls immediately going straight to their fire. You're agreeing with both of us here. Then on top of that, from what I see, is only a handful of officers train on their own time. But your earlier comments, corrections doesn't teach you the verbal.
Chris, I would like to welcome you back into the family. You are clearly paisan.
See how honest Dom is?
I was wrong to judge you.
Yeah.
I do like cunts, but not that kind of way. Chris, you are back in the family.
Yep. Welcome back, Chris. Chris is watching on Facebook too, which
there you go.
I figured out that trick. I had to go into settings, privacy, and then I had to go to business associate or business, whatever. And then in here was this one. So I'm a federal corrections officer, and we didn't carry batons, nor did we pepper spray until 2015. Just a radio and handcuffs. That's it, man. Life in the fast lane.
Out of 128 inmates. That's amazing.
So here in Florida, which I don't know if it's up there, we have corrections deputies, which is each county has corrections staff for the jails. Then we have Department of Corrections, which is state.
Yes.
Bro, there's a fucking billboard I passed because I'm a degenerate gambler to go to the poker place down in St. Lucie County. $22 an hour.
To become that. Yeah.
State corrections, getting piss slung at you. Shit thrown at you. These guys are doing life in
prison. Those guys are the ones who are convicted and
correct. They're smuggling drugs and cell phones, and they're shanking people. $22 an hour to go stand in that fucking dump all day. You could.
County is at least. You a lot of people don't have what do you call it? They're still pre-trial.
Yeah, they're pre-trial or they're back for appeal. So you do get the red jumpsuits, which are guys waiting to go to DOC for murder, guys back on appeal for murder and big stuff. But mostly everybody in there is serving 364 days or less. So their sentences they're
going to be a little bit more well behaved.
Correct. They get to go outside. They're getting out soon. All that. I got to go back and rewatch the boiling water video. I get it. It's just hot water. You can use seriously body harm, but
No. Wait, what did he say? He said, I think there's just hot water. But you can
water could justify deadly force. 100%.
Not a chance in hell. Not a chance. How close are you?
No. I'm saying it could, not in that case.
Yeah.
If you're standing in there talking to somebody and he's a foot away and he's going to throw a punch,
if it's somebody got your hands in the back of your neck and they're trying to put your face in hot water, take your pistol and you blast 100%. It's in that case. See, there's the problem. That case, there was no justification whatsoever for that.
I'll take you back a step further. And I said it the second I watched it. I have no idea why those guys even went in the house. Every cop on earth wants to blow a call off and get back to his girlfriend or nurse or Instagram and all that in the car. That lady, they did a welfare check, wellness check. She said I was good. And they turned like they were going to leave. And for some reason, that dude was like, well, what's your name? I don't want to give my name.
I think that's Illinois.
And they went back and forth. And if he would have just left.
I think that's Illinois. And we're seeing this more and more, though, in these First Amendment videos. I don't know why. It was an unwritten policy that every call I went to, didn't matter if it was a barking dog complaint, no complainant to be seen, right? Neighborhood problem, no complainant to be seen. And a lot of times you get no complainant to be seen or refuse complainant, you show up and the complainant comes over anyways, right? They start walking by, arms folded. Hey, yeah, they're not home. The dog is barking. Awesome. Do you have your ID by chance? We used to get fucking like, why did you not?
I think that's a city thing.
Why did you not go and get that ID?
Yeah, Vero PD was huge about that. When I got to the sheriff's office, they're like, bro, we got calls holding, like, get out of there. So I could see where that is, but that you're right with the auditors. You got Sean Reyes, great. And now that other guy posted the other day, he's funny. He does, I forget his name. It's on my page. He does not only cops, but he stands outside the fucking dispensaries. And these civilians go wild. I'm in my work car. Well, you're going to record me. Well, you shouldn't be getting weed in your work car if you're not allowed. Like, it's hilarious. But yeah, you're seeing a lot of times, obviously, and this is where I agree with Steve, cops are not versed in the Constitution. I think Sean just went to New Orleans and just ate their ass up down there. They're morons. They're in the correctional facility probation offices telling him he can't be in there and he can't. I'm like, who's hiring? Like, nobody did a class with them about like,
how is this not a staple in academy training right now? Social media and First Amendment.
Yes.
I don't get
stay off fucking TikTok and learn your fucking Constitution.
Literally, it's like, do you have your ID on you? Yeah, what's your name? It's like they don't have to answer. And the problem is, citizens don't know. You don't have to tell them shit.
99% of citizens think they have to listen, and they hand all their shit over.
They want you to. I'm going to befriend this cop, and blah 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 blah. Fish only get caught when their mouths are open. You guys are dumb.
I'm old enough to remember when the tasers were sold to the public as a non-threat. Yeah, tasers. Axon's the devil. I'll tell you that from the start. The problem is departments are not training much hands-on. Absolutely, BJJ cops, EFC combatives, Jay Wadsworth, all those guys are doing great things, going around training cops. Everybody should learn.
The cops, how many of them want to do something? I used to offer. I will never do it again. When I owned my gym, it was free defensive tactics training. And I'm in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. Schaumburg, Illinois is where my gym was at, located in the middle of everything. Free training for cops. None.
Yeah.
None. I just put it out 6 months ago. I said, I will travel to any police. I'm a defensive tactics expert. I'm a fucking wrestling coach. I'm a martial arts expert. I will take defensive tactics and go to any Illinois police department and teach your guys for fucking free. You know how many phone calls I got? None.
Zero. Yeah.
None.
Should have just left. Yep, I think you should have left as well. Just watch your Shield interview. Keep up the great work. Your stories continue to motivate me better to himself. Hold accountable. Thank you.
Good.
That was Shield with Carl Anderson.
Dude, that guy's incredible.
He's awesome.
Dude.
You can hire skilled laborers for $10 where I live. Thoughts on the government shutdown? Thoughts on government or private ran prison? I don't know. I don't have a problem with it being private. I'd rather see
profit.
Yeah, but if it's, I would think it'd be run more effectively if it was private.
Well, I'll give you the breakdown why systemic racism is legitimate. Systemic racism, 100%. I ran on this when I first ran for Cook County Sheriff in 2018. I had a lot of guys come up and say, these are the problems in the jails, blah, blah, blah. And one of the most glaring problems is the fact that they had like over 100 directors for the jail. And you go up on the Cook County website and you would see director of acupuncture, director of yoga, director of music. And these people had $110,000+ a year salary. Well, they never had that. prior to the governor and prior to J.B. Pritzker was a man named Bruce Rauner. Bruce Rauner was a Republican. When he went in, he cleaned house. So when Blagojevich, who everybody knows, went to prison, and his lieutenant governor lost the reelection, all those people needed jobs. So jobs were created. Now you got all these salaries that are in the Cook County Jail that need to be justified for. Well, what do? You need fucking bodies in the jail. What do? You keep pumping blacks in the jail system like crazy. The biggest problem I had is the jail is not a prison. So it's not a correctional facility. You get busted on weed, you get busted for a DUI, whatever it is, and you got pretrial for 2 weeks. You're still innocent until proven guilty. Fuck you. You do not deserve a knitting class program to rehabilitate you for society because you're not guilty of anything.
I agree.
So we dump money in that. And again, too, we have a 10,000 bodied jail, which means how many uniforms, how many bedspreads, how many pillowcases, how many toothpaste,
food, all that,
all those vendors. Well, now they're going to bid the contract. It's like shit, and they're probably lobbying for fucking laws. Hey, we need to make jaywalking more of a criminal offense.
Gets more people in jail. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. But I think that can happen. I think that can happen with a civilian or a regular corrections jail. Like we did it. We hear these local sheriffs, your favorites, Grady Judd, Wayne Ivey, these guys that play this big social media role, Eric Flowers, they definitely cook stuff up, but they do. They have all these programs. They're in bed with certain companies in the area. This guy gets the contract for the electric work.
Yes.
This guy so it's all a racket, man.
Yeah,
ours
is government's not privatized, but again, they're doing favors. You don't think that Grady, what does Grady Judd do? Nothing except for sit in front of a desk and chastise people who were just they were arrested by deputies who don't have body cameras. So we will never know the truth. Grady Judd is a storyteller. His job is to go on and use his audience to convict people in the court of public opinion, so that when it comes time, that money's going to go where he wants it. Yeah. Hey, we got a new program coming in. What is it? It's a 12-week program that we're going to take offenders. When they get released, part of their probation is they have to attend this class I just created. It's 12 steps of X, Y, and Z. Oh, that's my friend. Okay, so we need to have more bodies that go in the jail to wind up going through the
public funded. So the guy's got a public defense. Yeah, I see what you're
100%
Love the content you both produce, are part of it, or part of. Good to know men are still out there. Thank you so much, Dylan. Corrections in Colorado is horrible. Had a friend go to interview with them in 10 minutes. 2 separate DOC guys came in, dropped off their uniforms, and told them he wasn't. Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, they're not appreciated at all.
Private prisons is a disgrace. It should have never been profitable to keep Americans in jail. That's a great point. I'm from Peoria County and living out west. I'm so glad I left the black hole of Illinois. Policing there is a different animal.
Yes, and that's Illinois, man.
County commission will not pay the resource officers county jail to be run properly. Yeah, well, not pay for the resource. I don't know. Each county different. If food stamps are cut off, I'm going to bust a Ted Cruz and move and flee to Mexico because of all hell may break loose. I need to roll out. You all have a good night. Thanks,
Later,
Joe. All right.
Joe.
Last video. This is a local one. This is this agency posted this video, and I don't know. I only have I believe the edited version, and maybe I don't. Let's watch it. They posted a version of this not mocking. Basically, when like the jokes of the lineman getting introduced on a football. Joe Smith, University of Miami, like all that garbage. But let me play the video. I sent this to a 20-year canine handler who is appalled by it. Lance Fisher, who's a good friend of mine up in Palm Bay, Thin Blue Line Audits. He's just interviewed with Sean Reyes as well. Him and his wife, Anna, are great people. They're going after corruption in Palm Bay and down in up in Brevard County where Wayne Ivey is. He's really doing a good thing. They sent this to me. And this is an agency, Palm Bay Police Department, who I don't have a problem with, but over and over again, they're just putting out videos. And this is the guy on the bike. Remember the fucking homo on the bike that slides behind the chief?
Somebody told me something about him.
Yes. This is the same agency. Yes, he's got some really good allegations against him. But this same agency who keeps doing dumb stuff posted this video on their social media page. I'm going to let you, all of you, including Steve, you guys can watch this and you tell me if this looks like it should have been done to an American citizen.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Look at that man!
Canine Moose,
Oh,
University of Hungary.
We'll play it one more time for kids that missed it. This is Palm Bay Police Department. Now you see they posted this video as a whatever it is. One more time.
Oh, the police department posted this?
This is their video. Palm Bay PD right there on the screen. I'm gonna play it one more time.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Canine Moose, University of Hungary.
They posted that as if that is quality, necessary force and police work. They
The more that I see canine shit, the more the dogs should be out for sniffing shit, and that's it. I see far too many accusations of false hits on cars and far too much dog handler fucking don't know what they're doing. And why are they sending their dogs out to bite when you overgrown pussies can't take somebody into custody?
Most agencies have like a pretty good policy when it comes. Let me just blow through these comments. Food stamps are cut off. Need to roll out. Have a good night. Thank you so much. Nate, Illinois is a different world. Yep. There's my 20th year in corrections. Worked my last 10 years in handcuffs and radio. Yeah, it's tough. It's so hard to imagine. A little too work. Thank you for doing the job so many years. I bet he wishes he was on the ground. So that's one cop version of I bet that guy wishes he was on the ground. Me and you differ very much when it comes to like goon thumping people. Yeah. I'll admit it. Like we differ. I don't believe in beating people, but sometimes things happen. So I'll just leave it at that. I watch this and I think most agencies have a canine policy that's for serious stuff. You have to catch this guy or else. Armed robbery, domestic violence with threat of return, even burglary, stolen vehicle. Here where I live, that's still pretty decent crime. I don't have a problem with tracking, and they keep them on lead. They're never released unless it's real serious. I cannot watch this video and find one single reason, unless that guy's holding an AK-47, an axe, a handgun, a machete, a chainsaw, that you don't go hands-on.
It doesn't make sense to me either. Why would you send your dog into dealing with somebody who's got a knife or a gun? The dog is at risk.
Yeah, so let's eliminate that. So now that he doesn't, we know he doesn't have those though. So he's unarmed. Maybe you don't know if he's armed, but he's wearing like some like homeboy freaking white dude pants that obviously there's no gun floating around those pockets. You would see it flapping around. I don't know the backstory, and I don't even need to tell you that if you're that close, the guy that bites him is within arm's reach of him at the time the dog bites him. He is right there, able to go hands-on. Another guy has a taser. To me, the taser is much more humane than getting mangled by a dog.
Oh God. There's only in the United States, the companies that train the dogs are the only people that I think are ever fucking going to be qualified to deal with them. Not even the handlers. I don't think the handlers have the training that these professionals do who work with like Tops. We have Tops up in Grays Lake. That's where I had my personal dog, my pet dog, trained for obedience. And they were the greatest fucking trainers. They were better than the police canines. I think that the only agencies I have ever been impressed with who actually handle canines properly are like East Europeans.
Yeah.
Those fucking German police. It's like that's good canine work. Americans, they're just let the dog loose. Let the dog, they have no control over the fuck. And to use Belgian Malinois, those things are psychotic.
In our time, there's mental checklist that has to be done with someone biteable. Just go hands on with the dude. Yeah, that one, because I tend, Tyler calls me liberal Mike because I am the more down the middle guy in the anti-hero broadcast. And Tyler's that guy was gonna elbow struck in the back of that car with the seatbelt on, and Tyler called him distractionary strikes. And I'm like, yeah, bro, like we are totally different on that. Yeah, it was one of the best sound bites ever. Yeah. Like I literally like that. My wife says that's one of the best exchanges between you two. I said, because I was genuinely baffled by his respect. Like he called him distractionary elbow. I'm like, bro, are you serious?
Right. Like how the shit goes in the report.
It does. So, but to say it out loud is a different thing. But in this case, I can't get behind this one, man.
We had canines. I worked with 2 departments that had canines, and they were called out to sniff the cars, tracking. Oh, I couldn't believe we tracked somebody 4 fucking miles and found them. That dog is so good. But we went hands-on all the time. Had a taser. I used it 4 times. I used pepper spray twice. Baton was only used to shut the vent on the other side of my squad car. Hands on. That's all we ever did was hands on. I just don't get this generation.
Yeah. I mean, and again, that guy, tackle him, tase him. I think taser's better. He's obviously, and that's where I get into, like, we talk people trying to defend the baton. That dog barking to me is the equivalent of hitting somebody with a baton. You're not going to stop walking away and trying to get away from a baton strike. You're going to try to distance yourself from getting struck. So when they say, "Oh, he's not cooperating," of course not. You're hitting with a fucking stick.
No,
like,
he's
who do you
going
expect to
to.
Yeah, he's either going to punch you back or defend himself. Same thing with the dog. No one on earth, I don't care if you're the baddest man on earth, if a dog is barking like that and trying to bite you or going to bite you, are not going to lay down on the ground. You're not going to lay down on the ground. It's not going to happen.
Times where it's the stop resisting, sir. We yell stop resisting as you're raining down bombs. Your body is not going to just go fucking limp. I'll put my hands behind my back now.
No, I'm going to defend myself because I'm scared. And then the dog, a snake and a dog, like a snake is terrifying to everybody who sees it. That dog barking, you're not going to get me to lay down. I'm going to be like, bro, get the dog back. I'll do a backflip if you want, but keep the dog over there. When you're chasing that guy slowly with that dog, telling him to get down, it ain't happening. The human brain will not allow you to do it. Yeah.
Automatic. You cannot control. Like, no, dude, you're get the fucking dog away.
That's like when you go to the fucking Sears Tower up there, and my wife tries to get me on that glass ledge to go. Like, I'm like, fuck you, I'm not going out there. Like, I don't even like being in this building, let alone laying out.
About it all the time. It's like we used to in winter. We had winters here, so I was always I would wear a long sleeve like heat gear compression shirt underneath, and then thermal over that, then my polyester, and it's like you're warm. And I always thought, because all we had was either Chihuahuas or Pit Bulls in our town. That's all it fucking is. A lot of Hispanics, Chihuahuas and Pit Bulls. And I always got the gloves on. I'm like, man, you ever get a Pit Bull come after us? I'm gonna stick my fist on his fucking throat. But no, every time a dog would bark, I would do this.
Yeah, you have to.
Your dog away.
That guy can't. He can't lay down. Seems like more and more LEOs are scared to go hands on. Yep, it's a problem. You don't have any rights if a dog can take away your rights.
Self-proclaimed canines.
Self-proclaimed, canine dogs. Ex-bro-in-law had a dog for bomb squad. Poor dog just wanted the tennis ball so he could bring the bomb decoy back to my brother-in-law. Not sure about canine bomb dogs. I mean, they can obviously it works. It's proven they can sniff out things.
Dogs are great.
They're great.
8 million times more sensitive nose than humans.
But in that situation,
no, that's somebody who wanted that's somebody who wanted to use the dog, to stick the dog.
Then the agency takes it and posts it on social media as if that is the proper application. It went viral. And of course, since you and I cooked the guy on the bike, they turned their comments off. They don't allow comments anymore. So now the public can't really say anything to them. And I still think that's wrong. I know they're allowed. They're not allowed to delete them, and they're not. But they're not. They are allowed to turn them off, and that to me is wrong. Mm-hmm. That's no different than you taking me to the county commission or city council meeting and tell me I can't talk because I disagree with you. If you're going to post content on social media as a government entity, have the balls to leave the comments on so you can get direct feedback from. Delete the vulgar ones, delete the swear ones. If you're going to do anything, that's fine. But normal, tax-paying, constitutional citizens of this United States of America should have the right to comment and show their displeasure or give you props, one or the other, on your social media. You should not be able to just delete remove the ability to speak. That's to me, that's a violation of the First Amendment, which Steve knows all about. And I am with Steve on that you should know the Constitution. And then, like I said, watching Sean Reyes and these guys, cops do not, and it's scary because a lot of cops will say, like you said, oh, this fucking guy's an asshole. He's not. You watch cops try to illegally detain Sean Reyes over and over for trespassing when he's not indeed trespassing. So what happens to that poor guy at the gas station at 1 a.m.? Or that poor guy when there's nobody around with a camera with 1 million subscribers on YouTube? He gets arrested. Then
all the time.
He resists because he's like, I'm not doing anything. Then he gets beat. Then he ends up in or the cop ends up in an IA. All those bad things that nobody wants to be in an IA for using force. I don't care how cool it looks, how bad you slam the guy. Nobody wants to end up on the news, good or bad.
These departments are the small ones everywhere in America. Like I said, I just featured Indiana, 2 small towns. And I just found out, I found some real shitty video of one of the cops I mean, use of force is never looks good. This cop is motherfucking this teen and just slamming his head on the ground. Fuck you, motherfucker! And now apparently this cop is in charge of like their crisis intervention. And it's like, what? So it's like you people have no idea what goes on in their department.
But Reyes pointing out, like, if you can't tell me you don't know when you can walk up to a citizen and tell them to leave or tell them, when they're legally detained, that's a problem. And I would think, what do we all say? Whenever we're in trouble, cops need to be held accountable. Like, if you're a citizen, you're always bitching about accountability or cops are bullies or whatever. But then you get a guy like Reyes that goes and does it, and cops get upset with that. I don't get upset.
Good for him.
I like it. I like what he does,
dude. And I hope he never runs. You would think he has. Where is he at? 995,000, 1 million followers on his YouTube channel, and you would think that somewhere along the way, American academies would sit there and have some federal
streaming. We're going to have an hour block of Sean Reyes contacts to show you what not to do with a citizen. His
YouTube channel makes between $73,000 and $219,000 per month. Good for you.
Yeah.
I hope if cops are still this stupid, you never run out of a job.
Yeah.
Fucking
that's
capitalism.
what I always say. If you knew the law, I mean, and not to say I don't want this guy to eat, but if you knew the law, he wouldn't have a platform. Yeah, he would have you out of a job.
Nope.
All right, one more comment. I've been doing LA for almost 6 years and worked in the jail 3 before that. I recommend working in the jail before going to the beat, and it should be required. It's all about how you treat and talk to someone. I disagree. I don't think you should, and I can see both sides. It's a different atmosphere. I personally would never want to walk in the jail. I know that I treated people very fairly, though. My wife wants me to put together a reel. 2 things I never do. I don't talk about you don't hear me really talk about any of the calls I've been on. I have tons and tons of body cam video, cool chases, pursuits, tape. I'm done with that. Like that let somebody else get that. The other thing is, since I've retired and now got this platform, in the last 2 weeks since I did that episode on that moron at the fucking county commission meeting that had a terrible criminal history that hangs out with the sheriff, I got like 10 messages from people I put in prison or jail. Okay, let me be truthful. One of them was a drug arrest I made on a female that said I planted the evidence and it's all on body camera. She asked me to go to the courthouse and turn myself in and write a statement that I planted the drugs, and I'm laughing because I'm like, ma'am, do you want to pull the body cam video that when a female officer pulled it out of your bra, like in watching me do? But every other message in the last 2 weeks, about 10, hey man, you called me back in 2009, trafficking, you treated me like a human being, I was fucking up, I wanted you to know I'm doing better. Hey man, you got me here, blah, 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 blah. I'm doing better. You should chase me around neighborhood. I'm doing better. Like, I'm starting to get those. And I that's where I challenge people that talk shit about me. I will publish. Where's the message? Oh, this guy was a crook. This guy did this. It's not there. It's not there. And these are real people commenting and reaching out because I didn't do those things. Now I walk in the gas stations now as non-cop and a civilian in Publix, and that's our supermarket. And I hear a guy go, hey man, you remember that dude, that guy used to work with was a crook. And I look at him, I go, I think you're right, man. Like, I was too naive and too young in 2006 or 7 to believe it. You know what? You were probably right. He probably did fucking plant dope. He probably was a piece of shit. How old were you
when you became a cop?
22.
Wow.
3 years Army. I was in the Army for 3 years.
Okay, that's different.
I wasn't 22 wet behind the ears. I had done 3 years United States Army.
You're 21 with no military experience. You need to go to the jail for some life.
Yeah, that may be different. I would say maybe. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Experience.
Yep. One more comment from Steve. Can y'all name a profession that has lower standards and accountability?
No, I can't. Even Starbucks has more detailed training.
And you know what? Starbucks is held accountable. Like, you can't just not show up to work or.
I featured this a couple months ago. My last department, their deputy chief has been on for 7 years. 7 years, and she's been promoted to deputy chief, and she was cut early off of FTO, like 3, 4, 5 weeks early. It's like, there's no standards. Anybody can fucking do this job.
No, it's getting to the point now where I see locally there was a generation of good cops, and I think you fall into that same age group. And I'm not saying the cops now aren't good. They're just influenced now by that post-us generation that turned to textbooks and turned to never been in a fight, never been punched in the mouth, never had any controversy in their lives. They played video games growing up. And now they're leading with that same mentality where they don't respect other people's
because they never
feelings.
had to.
Yeah, they didn't have to. They never got punched in the mouth.
You're my age. Describe what it was like when you were a late teen, early 20s. What did you have to do to ask a girl out?
Oh God, it was miserable, dude. I'd have to get really intoxicated at a party, or it was tough. It was tough. Yeah, you'd be like, damn. You'd look at her 27 times, like you have to walk over there and actually talk to her. But you did.
And then, like, if you got rejected, did you die?
Oh no, but you walked away and you're like, okay, we'll try again. But
So you were able to pick up on nonverbal cues, like
you walked away and you're like, all right, this chick's not fake. Yeah, you're right. I know where you're going with it. Yeah, you learned interpersonal skills.
Text message, you up? And they have no. I was just talking about this with Rachel the other day. Young men have no idea what it's like to walk up to a woman. Would you like to go out with me? And then getting mocked and picking up on nonverbal cues, social cues, walking away. Today, it's just you up. No cause and effect. Oh, I got rejected. Well, fuck you, you're a bitch. They're taking that same lack of human interaction and going and trying to arrest.
You know what nobody does anymore? And I'll tell you, they did it to me, and I did it to my trainees as recently as my last group of trainees was like 2015, 2016. I would take them to the hood. I would drop them at the corner store, and I would say, you can get back in the car when you have 3 name, date of birth, and social security numbers written on that paper. And I'll be standing here making sure you don't get killed. But I'm not helping you. I'm not talking to you. I'm just your shadow. And I'm like, have at it. And then we had places, there's like 40 dudes outside playing dominoes and drinking beer on the side of these like hood gas stations. And I'd be like, hey man, I don't care if you find the one that looks the nicest, the meanest. I need 3 names. Come back when you're done. And citizen contacts. None of this like get up and go on the ground. You had to go up and introduce yourself. I'm new to the neighborhood. I'm deputy new guy. I'm green as shit. And they call those guys out, right? Look at this fucking green motherfucker. They start talking shit, and you laughed, and you're like, man, this dude's getting worked. But that was how I taught the new guys. Now they sit in a car, look at a power DMS screen, they click on some policies, and this guy's good to go. And then 3 years into his career, he gets in his first verbal argument. He has no idea what he's doing. But what are they preaching? De-escalation. How the fuck do they de-escalate if they don't even know how to talk to people?
I just reviewed the shooting from Casper, Wyoming. Casper, is it Wyoming? The military guy, domestic, had the gun on the porch.
Oh, the porch. Yeah, it's an older video, but I did see that. Yeah.
And it's like these guys had no. I'm like, man, if you just fucking listen to that guy and
said,
hey, you know what? You're right. We're going to go. Because I broke it down. There was no crime. It was all he said, she said.
It's no different than the pot. It was no different than the pot. They kept pushing it.
All you got to go is, you know what? You're right. I'm out of here. But what do cops do? How'd you push it?
But they draw the line. Once they draw the line, they cross it. But they want de-escalation because that's the big thing now. That's the key word. We're going to be nice to everybody. We're going to de-escalate. If you don't know how to hold a normal conversation, how are you going to learn to de-escalate?
De-escalate is subjective. You got a fucking knife in your hands, and instead of shooting you, I punch you in the face. I de-escalated you.
Yeah,
it's completely subjective.
But you're not required. They're making it like it's almost required. They're almost saying you have to punch him first. No, I can shoot you dead right there with the knife in your hand.
You have to. Then you have to fucking hire more salespeople to be cops. That's it. Because they're the ones who actually know how to talk to people.
But I know you got you doing your show tonight?
No.
Oh,
I'm with the Fridays. We're with Fridays now.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it.
I just made the decision.
We'll wrap it up. I appreciate you coming on, Dom. Of course, friend. Great friendship. Great alternate angle, I believe, to everything. And I think you're very genuine. People, I think you have. I think you're very. I think you have a heart for it. It rubs some people the wrong way, but if you take all that out of it and look at your position and not try to throw your past in your face like they do.
It's the volume of my voice, man. People
it is. I'll be the first one to tell you. I remember I told you before I knew who you were, I'm like, my wife would be watching your videos. I'm like, whose fucking loud mouth is this coming out of the phone? Like, Jesus Christ. I was like, God, this guy's fucking miserable. And then I started listening. I'm like, hey, this fucking guy's got it figured out. Like he's actually knows what he's talking about. But I appreciate it, Dom, man. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Yep. Guys, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. I'll be on the Anti-Hero broadcast on the Anti-Hero YouTube channel, and then 8 p.m. tomorrow night on the night shift on the Counterculture Network. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I thank you again, Don, for coming on.
Absolutely.
See the patch of my arm right here? What's that say? It says the not fucking around crew. That's what that says.